Tell me when.
When?
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
This is
this is
Global
Sherry
Collaboration Applied.
and
This is
Gunilla.
Gunilla, and that is Sherry. We are
Yes,
talking
from,
at the same time here.
that's okay. We do that. Anyway, we're coming to you from Stockholm, Sweden, and
Gothenburg, Sweden.
yes, 6 hours apart
Yeah.
on opposite sides of Sweden.
West Coast and East Coast.
And
So,
east.
yeah.
So this chat comes about because of something that I said on our Lions Portal chat,
Yeah.
which was that the darkness always turns to light.
Yeah.
And then Gunilla got a wonderful intuition that, oh,
yeah. I was like feeling, when you said that, it was like, oh, wait a second. We need to talk about dark and light, because I think there is so many people that are a little bit confused and might mix them up, like if dark is negative and light is positive, and that is not the case actually. So that's why we thought, well, why don't we do another video and talk about it, those polarities.
yes.
Right?
And most of these kind of turned out to be opposites. That's why I kind of laughed with East and West in Sweden. And so we made some lists of things that are opposites and viewed by humanity as possibly dark and light.
Yeah.
And so we'd like to kind of say some of what we came up with. But Gunilla first had something to say about on your spiritual journey. We all have shadow inside of us. Exactly. And Gunilla, go ahead.
Yeah,
what were you going to say?
And I think it's very important for us to know that really get this, that we need to embrace our shadows and deal with it and not suppress it, because it's nothing wrong with our shadow side. It's not negative in any way. I mean, we are humans and we are here to learn and create with our feelings and emotions as our ammunition to do that. So I think it's really important for us to really get that to get to heaven or nirvana or paradise or whatever we want to call it, we need to deal with our shadow. And by saying that, I was also thinking about when one usually talks about light versus dark, it's not equally as good versus bad, right? Because when I read something about something is dark or negative or malevolent, I mean, when I read that, I interpret that as negative energy, negative beings, negative humans, negative situations equal low frequency. That doesn't mean that the dark itself is negative. It isn't, because the dark is the void, the womb, the universal womb, where everything springs. And what springs from the dark is the light.
Absolutely. Yeah, and in that darkness, if you deal with the darkness, you empower yourself as it moves into the light, dealing with your own beliefs or feelings or whatever patterns. So that is a great source of empowerment for people. And really what the world is asking us to do at this time: do your work, get awake.
Yeah.
Wake up. Yeah. But so it's so interesting when I think Gunilla's example was very clear what she stated. And we just made a list of some things that are considered to be opposites and dark and light, such as, I'll just read a few here: night and day, black and white, dark and light, fear and love, feminine and masculine, doom and gloom, happiness and joy, purification, purity, negative, positive, moon and sun, hell and heaven, underworld and nirvana, impossible, possible. So it's so interesting, and really requires us to think carefully when we communicate.
Yeah.
That there's not misunderstanding about what we mean.
Yeah.
So anyway,
there is a lot of misunderstandings out there, and I think it's really common. And sometimes I can catch myself also kind of mix them all together, like, oh, wait a second, no, that is not negative just because you say it's dark, or it's not just positive because it's light, because there is false light too. It is light, but it's false light. So that doesn't mean that just because it's light, it's positive, because if it's false light, it's not positive or good, or, so it's always, I think it's really important to kind of structure everything and see it as it is, and try to get some balance, because that is what the universe is doing all the time, balancing itself.
Absolutely.
I mean, with the human eyes, when we are looking at the world as it is right now, it's like chaos everywhere, and we only see it like negative, and it's like, oh my God, we are screwed, But if you look from another distance, in like a bird perspective, or from a higher frequency, it's not evil, it's not bad, it's not negative. It just is, because it's a reaction on an action all the time, like this. Everything is.
And it also, like the world situation right now for me, reminds me so much of the story of the phoenix, that things have to go down to the ashes in order to be reborn. And that's what Gunilla and I are here for. So it's very, very, very fascinating to watch. And most starseeds and healers, etc., and light workers are certainly aware of this. That's our job here, is to raise the frequency by being the light. And we enjoy doing our job, but it's really hard when you're surrounded by so much fear everywhere.
Yeah. Because
and of course, this is all because we're moving from 3D to 5D, the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And so, of course, there's chaos, and people are waking up or not to what's really going on, instead of blaming, hating, casting dispersions on everything. So we find it to be an interesting time.
It is. 2020 is to remembered for the longest time. Oh gosh.
Exactly. So hang in there. We hope you understood. Do you want to make any other points, Gunilla?
No, I think we have made our points. This was not supposed to be a long video anyway. We were just thinking like we wanted to talk about it a little bit. And if you have another input or you want to join the conversation, why don't you contact us and we can talk about it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
And see. Now let's see. Yeah.